Welcome to the Positive Pants Podcast. Mindset, motivation, and inspiration to help you find your positive pants. Let go of negative thinking and stop living for the weekend. With your host, Fran Excel.
Welcome to the show. As always, it's Fran Excel, your resident subconscious success mentor, helping you find your very own pair of positive pants so you can get out of your own way and live a life that you love. If you want to stop sabotaging your own success and let go of the stress, then you are in the right place, my friend. Make sure you download your free Stressed to Success guided meditation at bit.ly/stressed to success as my little gift to you for being here. Please do subscribe, share, review. It really, really helps people that need to hear this message find us, and I so appreciate it. In the show notes, you will also find details of how you can work with me and where you can get your mitts on my meditations, products, and printables. You can also find it through the link in my bio on Instagram, which is my second favorite place to hang out. So please do come join me over there at I'm Fran Excel. Tag me in your takeaways, slide into my DMs. I am here for it. So that is the formalities over, my love. So let's jump into the content. Where are you busy, but really you're avoiding something? Now, this episode is going to require some honesty pants and some curiosity and awareness on your part. Today, I'm talking about those busy tasks, those tasks that make it seem like you're doing all the work, and it can really feel that way, but you can burn out from these tasks, and the reality is they're allowing you to avoid something bigger and scarier. You feel like you're busy all the time, but you're not really getting anywhere. So there are a few things that could be going on. A little bit of perfectionism, so not doing the task, but being really, really busy fits nicely into perfectionism. So tweaking, tinkering, never being finished. So it's always on the to-do list and you can't actually press go on anything. There's covert procrastination. I mean, you look busy, you feel busy, but procrastination is surely when you're sitting there knowing you're not doing work. Nope, it can be sneaky, but it is still procrastination in some form. Now, the other thing is your ego wants you to avoid. Your ego is always going to try and keep you safe. It has many covert ways of going about doing this, like mean inner self-talk. But this is a far more subtle strategy because it still feeds your self-esteem in some way for the positive, because feeling busy is something that we often associate with success. So it can also be something our primary caregivers modeled to us. So we have an unconscious belief program running that to be successful, you need to be working all hours and stressed. Now, this is the stuff that we need to unpick a little bit. And there are many ways that we can do this too. Many ways that we do these being busy tasks. So social media would be a big one. Oh, we can get lost in this one, can't we? We can get lost in that scroll hole, looking at competitors, please don't, doing research, tweaking content, redoing stuff. And the reality is we can lose hours per day doing this if we don't keep a track of it. So it's time to get a little bit more intentional with it. Things like batching content, time blocking, when you'll go onto certain things, when you'll go onto social media, turning off notifications, for example. Otherwise, you will lose yourself in it. We get a dopamine hit. We are rewarded every time we get one of those notifications popping up. If we see that notification, it's almost like we have zero chance of not checking it. Even if we don't check it and use all our willpower, it's in our mind, right? It's taking up headspace. You know, you'll lose yourself in it without actually getting much of anything done at all, but convincing yourself you're so busy and you haven't got any time. Now, research is the next thing. I'm all for a bit of research, but let's be strategic about it. Let's be strategic about when and what for, shall we? Like planning out products when you haven't promoted the other ones yet is another one. Oh, there's some unconscious gremlins at bay here that could require some attention. You know, if you've got a not good enough program running, that would easily stop you focusing on the very thing that could actually make you money over new ideas, mapping out new products, getting all excited. But then the ones you've already created gets covered in dust. without ever actually giving it a real chance. Yeah. Next thing to look at, email. How would it feel if I told you you actually didn't have to respond to every single email that comes through when it comes through? Shock, flipping horror. I know we are conditioned to have our emails open all the time, to respond as they come through. I get it. It took me a really long time to train myself out of this one. But what if you time blocked in an hour at 9, 12 and 4, for example, or even less? Then you deal with them all at the same time. You're not context switching the whole time, which takes you longer to get back into the task. So go back and listen to the episode on stop multitasking. You don't have time. Yeah. But if you do this 9, 12 and 4, you get 5 hours of glorious uninterrupted time. Yeah? The illusion of busyness can make avoidance difficult to spot. We don't like to admit, or perhaps more commonly, aren't consciously aware that we're avoiding something, right? As always, we need to get underneath it. Go back a few episodes and listen to the one specifically about procrastination for help on how to learn to speak, Fran. How to identify why you might be doing it and the strategies around it. But this episode is on the far more covert avoidance. Yeah. Usually we know when we're procrastinating, don't we? It's quite painful and in our face. This version, we're so busy, so we can't be procrastinating, right? We're wearing that busyness like a badge of honor because we've been conditioned to believe that busyness equals success. Yeah. But really, we are actively avoiding all the things that would actually move us forwards. Yeah. So it's so important to start taking stock of the kinds of tasks that you are doing on a daily basis and start to really look at this stuff. You'll be amazed how much time you can find. In fact, go back to the episode, I think it's episode 8, how to find more time in your day. That is a game changer. Now, here's a couple of questions to ask around these tasks when you start mapping them out. Are they actually moving you forwards? What might you be avoiding doing by doing this task instead? What could be an advantage of avoiding it? What could you do now, today, that you know could move you forwards, but you keep putting it to the bottom of the list? And what's underneath the avoidance? If we really take stock and do a task inventory versus a list of things that would really help move us forwards, there's probably a massive disconnect. So taking a task inventory is simply about being consciously aware of where and how you're spending your time, being intentional with it. So what I want for you is to have the awareness to tell the difference. It's all well and good having a strategy and ideas on how to stop being in the being busy zone, but you've got to look at the cause, not the symptom. Yeah, look at why it might be happening. Good old curiosity and awareness again. Funny how that keeps coming up. And I also want to reframe busyness. And I'm guilty of this too. I have to catch myself in it all the time. I've definitely got a lot of the overachiever personality type. Busyness does not equal success. Busyness certainly does not equal happiness. We need to stop wearing it like a badge of honor. We need to stop making the assumption that if we're not busy all the time, that other people will judge it negatively and assume things like we're not doing well enough. Or on that note, I want to reframe well enough too. Doing well enough according to whom, right? I want to empower you to trust yourself to know the answers to these for yourself, to know that if it's enough for you, it's enough. Let go of all the messages out there. And I wish you could see me flailing my hands around, getting quite passionate about this one. Let go of all the messages out there of what success should look like, because it's all rubbish. Because at the end of the day, if you're busy all the time and you're not getting to enjoy your life in any way, what's it all for? The only person who knows what that looks like, what success feels like, is you. Yeah? It's about knowing your own priorities, knowing what is non-negotiable for you, and then reverse engineering, figuring out how you get that. Being able to, with curiosity, go, ooh, I'm definitely avoiding that thing over there. I wonder why that might be. Figure it out and put things in place to move you forwards. You are the one in control here, not someone else's opinion, not conditioning you've been given by caregivers, friends, or society. You know, I always talk about overcoming self-sabotage to live a life that you love. This is what I mean. If you go by other people's standards, you're never going to achieve it because they aren't necessarily your standards. And nobody is up in your life to know what's right for you. So don't buy into the marketing messages and focus in with curiosity on what it is that you really want. It'll definitely put the fire back in your belly to stop avoiding things when you really truly know it. When you're doing things in line with you and what you want to do and what feels good for you, it's a game changer. Don't worry about all the things that other people are doing. It's all about you. A huge amount of the time we're avoiding these big things because underneath it there's the I'm not good enough, there's oh what if it doesn't sell, and the things that we make that mean, right? That's the bits we've got to unpick. You know, it'll get you out of the busy being busy zone to one where you're actually doing what you want. Heaven forbid. Yes, you cannot click your fingers and get to that point. You may need to outsource some things. There will be times when certain things are built up and you really do have a huge amount of work to get through. Those times will happen. But it's about being able to take a step back, breathe, go, okay, what's really going on here? Figure it out. It is obviously much easier with help. But then put a plan in place to move forwards. If you do the biggest task you're avoiding, my goodness, does that create some major headspace. Brian Tracy calls it eating the frog. So if you eat the frog first, everything else becomes easier. Yeah. Know that there's always another, potentially more efficient way to do things that will get you closer to your goals faster. Batching, time blocking, prioritizing, the scary brain dump to-do list that I talk about all the time, which is available on my website, franexcel.com/shop. Not multitasking. All of these are ways to be more efficient, but also you've got to keep your honesty pants on. Yeah. But none of this is effective as it would be with the awareness of why you're avoiding what you're avoiding in the first place. So start there. I have something exciting for you guys kind of on this topic. I know 2020 has been, let's say, a very strange year. It can be really, really easy around this time of year to buy into all the planning for 2021. Plan your goals out, achieve big, but I want you to be kind to yourselves. We've been through a lot this year. So I'm offering a limited number of 2-hour sort the stuff sessions. Yeah, these aren't something I've offered before, but I know how much I can get done with someone in an hour. So imagine what breakthroughs we can get with 2. And the purpose of these is to sort through any stuff that may be lingering for you from 2020. Getting a nice idea of what you want for 2021 without putting pressure on yourself. You know, whether you want to know how to make big changes in 2021. If you want to do that, but you're not sure where to start, or you want to create more awareness of why you do the things that you do, or why you don't do the things that you don't do, or you want to get more of a plan in place to really understand and map out what you want to achieve with what you want in mind, while still being kind to yourself, still being good to yourself, based on what you want and what you need, not what anyone else tells you you should. Yeah, we'll start to sort through it in these sessions so you can move forwards with that clarity and confidence. And if you want to grab one of these sessions, because they're going to be limited, if you want to grab one for yourself, just email fran@franexcel.com with the subject sort it, or DM me on Instagram at I'm franexcel. And remember that franexcel has 2 L's. So I really hope that some of you guys want to take me up on this. I will give you more details. We can get so much done in 2 hours and put you in a really, really positive space to move forward, to have a year, regardless of what goes on, a year that you're going to love. So if you've got value from this and you know in your gut that now is the time to step up and start rewiring your thinking and start changing things for yourself, then please do book in a free discovery call so we can work out what needs to happen to get you from where you're at right now to the action-taking success you know you can be. If you want my eyes and ears on your problems, then I do work with people one-on-one and through the Proactive Pants program. You can find all the details to book in a call in the show notes, the link in my bio on Instagram, and on my website, franexcel.com. So stop waiting for if and when and choose to change things now, because you can. I am here to believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. And as always, I hope you found this helpful. And as always, I will see you next week. Bye.